What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to give you a masterclass on how you can use school to build a profitable community that will turn into an asset that you can sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars in the future. Now, the full version of this can be found in my free community, which you can access by clicking the link in the description below this video. The reason why I wanted to make this video is because I truly believe school communities are going to overtake sales funnels. Sales funnels were always a very independent and lonely buyer journey. Yes, if you create a sales funnel, tens of thousands of people can go through that funnel, but they do it alone. A school community is different in that you can send tens of thousands of people into a community and they can go on that buyer journey as a community, as a team, as a group. And that's why I believe that school communities will be one of the most profitable business decisions you can ever make, because people's buyers' habits have changed. They're more skeptical, there's a lack of trust in the market, and most people want to do their research before they buy anything from you. And a school community solves all of those problems. So instead of waffling on, let's just jump straight into the masterclass so I can show you how to do all this. Hey guys, what's happening? Today I'm going to walk you through the school masterclass. I want to walk you through how you can create a profitable community. And if you are new to making money online, if you're new to marketing, new to entrepreneurship, this is going to be a lesson on how you can make a lot of money as quickly as possible in a really fun way. And if you are an experienced entrepreneur, if you're an experienced marketer, what I'm about to show you today is going to completely blow your mind, because there's never been an easier way for you to make money online than with school. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into it. Now, if you are a seasoned entrepreneur, you are probably aware of sales funnels, and sales funnels have been the main way of getting new customers over the last few years, at least for as long as I've been an entrepreneur myself. I've been using sales funnels to try and convert people into a customer. This is the old way of doing things. And before I show you the new way of doing things with a school community, I want you to understand how the old way of doing things has changed and what has been working in the past. So previously, the way for you to get customers is by getting traffic. And you get traffic from different social media platforms and things like that. Traffic is essentially visitors that could potentially buy from you. So you would send heaps and heaps of traffic to a landing page or to your website or to a sales funnel, which is designed to funnel people. That's why it's called a sales funnel, into buying from you. So you get a lot of people at the very top, and it goes down into the middle where less people are interested, and then to the bottom where people buy. So it's just about getting as many people in the top of the funnel as possible, and they come out at the bottom where they are now a customer. You get people into your funnel, they book a call, and then you can present them with an offer. And if you have a good offer, they'll buy from you. So that's the old way of doing things. What I'm about to share with you today doesn't necessarily mean that this doesn't work anymore. There's just an easier new way to do this. And that is through a school community. So just like you would get lots of traffic and send that traffic to a sales funnel, you can instead put them into a community which acts like a sales funnel. It's far better to do this because your community sells people naturally. It's way less salesy, it's way less cheesy, and this works better because people's buying habits have changed. They're skeptical, they don't trust many people, they don't trust many products. If you send people into a community, you can build trust, and if you help them enough times, they'll eventually buy from you. So this is why it works really well. From the community, you can then get them to book a call with you if you sell high ticket, or you can just sell them in the DMs because you can DM people within your community. This is a new way of doing things, very similar to the old way, but the new way is far more scalable, it's far more natural, it's less cheesy, less salesy, and ultimately helps more people than just with a sales funnel. So here's a quick overview of what you're going to learn from this program. First of all, what is a community? It's essentially a place or an ecosystem where you can send all of your traffic so that you can sell them within your own ecosystem. I'm going to share with you how the model works. I'll also walk you through how you can design your community before starting it. And then once you start it, how you can monetize and grow your community. And then once you go through all of these steps, you'll be able to create your own community and start making money out of it. Some of the reasons why I decided to start a community was because it's gamified. It means that every one of your members is incentivized to engage in the community. Unlike Facebook groups where there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of negativity and things like that, a gamified school community encourages people to add value by asking good questions or giving feedback or answering people's questions. So it's self-fulfilling in this way. There's a lot of community-based learning, so your members can learn from each other, not just you. And that's really powerful if you're building a community of people with the same interests and the same goals. It's an easy way for you to offer support to your members, to your potential customers, and to your existing customers. But it also means that everyone within the community can support each other, which leads me to this concept of helping others versus selling. With a sales funnel, it's all about trying to sell people on the next thing. Whereas with a community, you're helping other people achieve results. And because they're actually getting results, they'll end up buying something from you because they know all the free stuff within your community, or all the value that's within your community has helped them get smaller results. So when they get to a big problem, they're going to buy from you. The trust is already there. It's a far better way to sell. Thank God the market has changed, because over the last few years, it's all about being spammy, sending as many emails as you can, spending as much money on ads as you can. With a community, it's actually valuable, or at least far more valuable than a typical sales funnel. It's more sustainable. I've already kind of mentioned that, but as your community gets bigger, there's more support, there's more gamification, there's more engagement, there's just more value over a long period of time. It's a sustainable model. You can eventually sell your community if you want. The bigger your community gets, the more valuable it becomes. You can then use your community as leverage to do collaborations with people with other communities, or people that have a big audience, or people that could add value into your community. I'll talk about that in another video. But ultimately, it's just easy to collaborate with people. It's easy to add value into these groups so that you can build more trust, more authority, so that you can actually help people. And it's fun and fulfilling. When I first started my business 5 years ago, the very first business I started, I worked in it for 6 or 12 months, and I was really unfulfilled. I wasn't doing something that I loved. I felt like I was just trying to sell people all the time. I was selling a service that I wasn't that passionate about. With a community, it's fun. It's going to fulfill you. You're going to wake up every single day and actually want to be involved in the community. And this is life-changing, because there's not been anything like this before. This is totally new, and you can jump on this new trend now before everyone else does, which means you can make a lot of money. So this is what a school community looks like. This is the one that I've built for my company, Video CEOs. As you can see, it's got a news feed or a home feed where people can post things, and you can ask questions and like posts. At the top here, we've got categories. So I've just broken mine down into a few, like general discussion, business strategy. This means when you write a post or create a thread, you can make a title, you can write something, you can choose your category. So everything's categorized, and then you can add attachments, links, videos, polls, etc. One of the really cool things about owning a school community is you can also send an email to all of your members when you write a post. So you can only do this every 72 hours. This essentially means that you can create a sales pitch. You can offer something new. You can notify everyone about something in order to make a sale. You can do a launch, whatever it is. And you can publish that to all of your members. They'll receive an email from school. It's almost 100% deliverability, so everyone's going to see it, and it's just a really good way to sell. So if I move out of here and I go up to the classroom, there's different courses that you can put in here. As you can see, I've got a YouTube playbook. To be honest, most of these videos are from my YouTube channel, but I've put it in a sequence where you can go from A to Z in order to get a result. So this way, anyone that joins this community gets this course for free, and they can just follow the steps. You know, there's hours and hours worth of content here, like you can see. I've got another course here. It's an AI video editing course, because my community is filled with both entrepreneurs who want to use videos to make more money, as well as video editors who want to improve their skills. So as you can see, there's hours worth of content in this course as well. These are free in my community. You've got a calendar. I'm not currently using this just yet, but if you have a paid community or even a free one, you can add Q&As, coaching calls, group sessions, whatever. They can all be put here so all your members get access to the calendar, or you can choose what members have access. The way that you would do that is by going to the members screen, clicking on membership, and then you can change their role, or you can change the course that they have access to. So you just click this drop down, and then they've got different courses. So you can actually give them specific access. So if someone pays for a course, you can give them access, and you can use automations to do that. Something else that you should take note of is the leaderboards and the gamification. You don't get this in Facebook groups, which is why it's so good. It encourages people to engage and to add value in the groups. So you can choose your levels, you can create them yourself, or you can, rename them rather. But as you can see, there's leaderboards. So we've got 7-day, 30-day, all-time. It's good to see here that 2 of my video editors at Video CEOs are in the all-time leaderboard. So this means if you've already got a company, you've already got employees, and you create your own community, you can have your own employees or your team members adding value into the community, answering questions, giving feedback, etc. Depends how you set it up. So it just adds more trust to your business. People start trusting you and your business and your employees more, and they'll eventually work with you. Just before I go, a real quick thing over here on the right, you've also got links that you can add. So you can send people to different offers, different landing pages, different packages that they can buy. So this is really cool. So for example, I've got an examples page. We've got a $3 million case study and even a link that goes to our website or call booking. And you can create whatever links you want, pointing them to wherever you want. So hopefully you can see by now, community is just going to allow you to make far more money than a normal sales funnel, because you can set it up like a sales funnel, except it operates like an ecosystem. So everyone that could potentially buy from you will come here, and then it's a self-fulfilling machine. So that's essentially what a community looks like. There's a few other features that I'll show you throughout this program, but this just gives you a little bit of a taste. So you now know what a community is, you understand how the model works. In this lesson or in this section, I'm going to walk you through how you can design a community that can make you money. So before you start your community, you're going to want to sit down and figure out what kind of community you want to create, and if there is any potential to make money out of that community. My advice is to design and create a community around a problem that you know how to solve or that you've solved in the past. So when it comes to my Video CEOs community, as an example, it's about helping people create video content that sells and then helping them remove themselves from the content creation process by using AI. And as part of that, we also help video editors improve their skills and connect entrepreneurs who are building out their content strategy with a video editor that can help them accomplish those goals. So there's a few goals in there. There's a few problems that we solve. That's the beauty of the community. There can be a lot of different problems that are on the same path. Another way of doing it is to create a community around the same interests, the same goals, and the same problems that you currently have and that you're going to be having in the future or that you've had to overcome. Because life's a bit of a journey. There's never just one problem that you solve and then everything is sweet. Once you solve a problem, there's always another problem. So you want to create a community for people that might be coming up against the same problems as you, or who might be coming up against the same problems that you had in the past. So with crowdsourcing groups, it means that you don't have to be the expert. A lot of people think that if they create a business or they create a community or create a group, it means that they have to be the expert teaching everyone. It's not the case with these communities. And that's why they're such a great way for you to build trust, authority, and make money, because you can collaborate with other people. You can bring them into the group. You can do guest speaking, guest podcasts, guest Q&As. You can find someone that is an expert in their space. You can bring them into your community. They can do a masterclass, and they're going to do that because your community is valuable to them. The bigger your community gets, the more valuable it becomes. You can also build a community with a friend. So let's say you're all on the same journey. You're all trying to overcome the same problems. You can all create a community together. It means you all have the same interests. You're all trying to solve the same problems. And then other people can join that community who are on the same path as you. And you can leverage the community to solve problems together. So you don't always have to be an expert, like I just said. It means that sometimes there'll be people in the community that can help you solve problems as well. This is what crowdsourcing is. It's a self-fulfilling ecosystem. Everyone is helping each other on the way to solving a really big problem. And everyone's going to experience different problems at different parts of their journey. If you already have an audience, you can start a paid group. But if you're just starting out, I would recommend starting a free group. Now, there's a few options here. I've done a lot of research on the different ways that you can do this. At first, I thought about having a paid group where you just charge people to join. But the problem with that is you're already asking for money up front. So I didn't like the idea of it. I thought that if I had a free group first and I added as much value into that free group as possible, I could then upsell people. You can start free and then you can move to paid later. So if you get 100 members into your group for free, for example, you can grandfather the price, which means they are free forever. And then you can start charging people to join. This might be a good idea because it will show that you have some level of social proof. If you're charging $5 a month to join your community and someone goes to your about section and they see that there's already 100 members in there, that's enough social proof to get them to pay the $5 a month. If you start it free, you can get the social proof, you can then get the feedback, you can ask your members what they want to see, how you can improve the group, and then once the group is at a certain level, you can start charging people to join. Another way of looking at it as well is you can keep the group or the community free, and then instead of charging people through the school platform to join the group, you can have exclusive access to courses or additional benefits, and you can just upsell members within the group. So that means some of the members are in there for free and some of them are paying more money to get those exclusive benefits, and you can just charge them outside of the platform. There's a lot of different ways to do this. There's no right way or wrong way. You just have to decide what's right for you. The big question is, what do you put inside your group, and how do you get people to pay to be in your group if you start it free or if you just start it as a paid community? It's all about exclusivity. So your community allows all of the members to have exclusive access to you. They can also have exclusive access to any of your collaborators, industry experts that you bring into the group to add more value. Of course, there's content that gets posted into the group, so group members or community members get exclusive access to that content, and you can gate the content as well, depending on how you structure your group. In-person events or online events are another big one. Let's say you do sales calls, or you have recorded calls with your team, or you have recorded coaching calls, things like that. They can also be gated or seen as an exclusive benefit for paying members. You can do challenges, that's another big one, or launches that only paying members get access to initially. So you can play around with scarcity and urgency within the group itself. And then finally, you have free courses and paid courses. So if you had a free group, for example, and you just wanted it to be free forever, you could also upsell people into a paid program. The sky's really the limit with what you can put inside your groups. You can monetize it in a variety of ways, which I'll get to in another video. Ultimately, you just want to ask your community what they want. If you're not sure what to put in there, if you're running out of ideas, the great thing about having a community is that it's self-fulfilling, it's an ecosystem, it's self-sustainable. So you can just ask your community what they want and they will tell you. If you get enough people asking for the same thing, that's what you put into your community. So the goal of making a community is to make it as valuable as possible. The more valuable it is, the more people are going to join, and the more people are going to recommend it to other people to join. And after all, if you can build a business on referrals, you're going to make a lot of money. So to do that, make it as valuable as possible. According to Alex Hormozi, this is the formula for making a community as valuable as possible. So it's all about the outcome, making sure that everyone who joins that community can get a very specific outcome after joining it. Don't make it too crazy. It should be very specific. Otherwise, people can get lost in your community. They might not all be on the same path. The next thing is low risk. So you want to make it as easy as possible for them to do it. So if you can lower the risk of achieving that outcome, then you're going to be able to increase the value of the community. So if you can help people achieve a specific outcome and also lower the risk, that makes it valuable. But you're also going to want to help people do it quickly. Everyone wants to solve a problem fast, or as fast as possible. So if you can help them solve that problem in days or weeks instead of years, then it's going to be more valuable. And then in addition to that, you want to help them achieve that outcome without them having to sacrifice anything or do things that they don't enjoy doing. So that means giving them as much help as possible, as many tools as possible, templates, coaching, support, consultation, software, whatever it is, in order to help them achieve that core result or that main outcome. And so this is how you make your community extremely valuable, and so valuable that people will refer it to their friends. Hey, what's going on, everyone? In the previous few videos, you learned what makes a school community valuable and how you can design your community so that it will eventually make money and be profitable. In this video, or in this section, I'm going to walk you through how to actually start it and get it up and running. So as I've mentioned before, the intent of your group or your community should be to help members, not to sell. If you intend to get heaps of people into your community only to DM them and harass them into buying something, then the value just isn't going to be there. No one's going to recommend your community to their friends or to their network, and eventually you're going to be stuck in a rut, because the goal of these communities isn't to sell, it's to help as many people as possible, build trust, build authority, and as much value as you can to people's lives. And then when they're ready, they can buy from you. That doesn't mean that you can't subtly sell people. It doesn't mean that you can't use some sales techniques and methods and tactics to get people to take those actions. But the overall goal of these things is not just to sell, it's to add value and help people. So in order to do that, you need to have a clear niche or niche, a clear transformation, and then the mechanism to help your members achieve that transformation. So for example, in my video CEOs group, The niche is entrepreneurs and video editors who want to use video content to get more sales, to win big contracts, to grow their business. So that's the transformation, and the mechanism that we use to help those entrepreneurs and video editors achieve that goal is through AI and flywheel marketing. So when they join that group, they can learn our entire process when it comes to creating AI generated videos that get sales, how to use those videos in a flywheel, and then how they can remove themselves from the content creation and distribution process. So you need to come up with a clear niche, transformation, and mechanism for your group. Otherwise, it's going to be too chaotic. Like I've said in the previous videos, everyone has to be on the same journey and on the same path. They're going to come across the same obstacles. They're going to have to overcome the same problems, and your community should enable them to do that by offering the tools, the education, the guidebooks in order to solve those problems and to overcome those hurdles. And the point of your community is really to turn it into a movement. It's one thing to have an audience on social media. You can have a lot of followers, a lot of subscribers. It's a second thing to turn those followers and subscribers into members of your community, but it's a whole new thing to create a movement. It's when people are so fully aligned with the transformation that you offer in your group and the mechanism that you use to help them get there, that it creates a movement in a way that it's self-fulfilling. So they will always be referring new friends, new people to your group in order to achieve the same goals. A really good example of this is someone like Andrew Tate and his War Room or Real World. I forget the name. I've never been a member, so correct me if I'm wrong. But he's created an entire movement around escaping the matrix. So he doesn't just have an audience. He doesn't just have a brand. He doesn't just have a community. He's got a real movement that backs up his product. So that's the goal here when creating your community, turning it into a movement. Now, everyone starts with just one person in their community, and that's you, because you created it. You're the first member. And I'll show you ways for you to get people in your community, whether it's a free one or a paid one. But just know this, when building a community, you just need 10 true regulars. So these are regular people within your community who add value to the group regularly. It's those people that post all the time, give feedback, ask questions, answer people's questions. You just need 10 of those to create a really valuable community that turns into a movement. And there's also this concept of 1,000 true fans. I think I read this in Russell Brunson's book. Can't quite remember, but it's based on the premise that you only need 1,000 true fans for you to create real generational wealth. These 1,000 true fans will buy everything that you put out there, and they'll speak very highly of you. And these 1,000 true fans also allow you to be very specific about the things you are interested in. Alex Hormozy used an example of Joe Rogan. If you are familiar with Joe Rogan's podcast, you might also know that he's a man of many hobbies and interests. He likes UFC, fitness, aliens, conspiracies, and a whole bunch of other things. So if you like those 4 things, for example, you might be a true fan of Joe Rogan. So true fans are people or members within the group who have the same alignment and core interests as you. Because your group might not just be about one thing, it might be a combination of a few things, because oftentimes you need to have a combination of a few things in order to reach a goal. So that's where the 1,000 true fans come in. Now, in order to get there, you have to start with just one person, but your social proof will snowball the value and the size of your group. So at first, it might be difficult to grow if you're starting from scratch, but as your community grows, the more social proof it has. So it means that you can raise prices if it's a paid group, or if it's free, it means that as people visit that community, the more likely they are of applying to join your community, because they can see hundreds or thousands of members are already in there. And that will convince them that if there's hundreds or thousands of members in your community, then it must be good. So they'll apply to join. So one of the main features of a community is a welcome post. Well, it's not really a feature, it's something that you have to create. You essentially make a post and you pin it. These are really important to have in a community because it tells people what to do next or what actions you want them to take. It makes them feel welcome. It can boost engagement. There's a few different results you can get out of creating a welcome post. But this is an example of mine that I use in my Video CEOs group. As you can see, it mentions what this community is for, who we help. It encourages people to introduce themselves. And then there's also another step that they can take, which is to start learning AI video editing. If they click on this, they'll go to the free course, which is hosted in the classroom. I've also got a poll here just to create some more engagement. And if I scroll down, I can see that members of my group have been posting in here their introductions. So this just creates engagement. It creates that community feel. Another example of a welcome post is from the creator click. I'm excited to help you make $10,000 a month. So that's what the goal of this group is. Follow these 3 steps below. Start by going to the classroom, watch the first video there, complete the action items in that video, and let's have some fun. Super easy. 181 comments, 709 likes. Another example here, very similar to the one that I showed you in my group. In his welcome post, he wants you to introduce yourself. You can use a copy-paste template. And then he's got step 2, learn how to unlock everything by reading this. Best practices, group rules, anything can really go in here. It really just sets the standard of the group. So this is an example of what a course might look like within your group. So if you click on Classroom, you can create a course. This is my example in the Video CEOs group. As you can see, hours worth of content, and you can split it up into sections. So if I just click on these arrows, I'll just make this smaller. Like I mentioned in the previous video, this course is really just videos from my YouTube channel, but I've put them in order so it's easy for someone to get a result. And having a free course like this is really powerful. It incentivizes people to interact in your community. They can go through the course, they can start asking questions. It helps with engagement. It allows you to slowly indoctrinate them into potentially buying something from you in the future. Because that's really what these groups are about. It's about helping people as much as you can and then indoctrinating them into maybe working with you if they need more help, because you want to sell the implementation rather than the secrets. If someone wants to do something themselves, if they want to implement something themselves, they might make a lot of mistakes. They might take much longer to do it on their own. Maybe they have to sacrifice something. Maybe they have to do things that they don't like. So that's why it's important to go back to that slide about what makes a group valuable. It's about giving as much information, revealing as many secrets, just giving people everything they possibly can to get a result on their own, and then selling the implementation so that they can do it faster, cheaper, with less effort, etc. So within each one of these sections, there's modules. As you can see, I've broken mine down so that each section has a few videos in there, and you can set this up in whatever way makes sense for you and the course that you're offering. I've got a second course here which is targeted towards more video editors, and this teaches them how to use AI in their video editing. I've got an incentive for people to get to level 2 in order to access this course so that I can create engagement in my group. But once they get to level 2, they can come to this course and they can go through it for free. Some of these are just YouTube videos that we've pulled from YouTube. So we're not selling this, it's totally for free, but it's just videos pulled from YouTube and then ordered in a way to help people get a specific result. So that's something to keep in mind as well. If you are creating a course or you want to create a course in your community, you don't have to necessarily make it from scratch. You might already have content that you've made that's on YouTube or elsewhere that you can put together into a roadmap, or you can pull information from sources online. Like for example, this course, most of these videos are from YouTube. This at least allows people to start learning in the group for free. It means when they come to the community, there's something there for them to do whilst we build out other courses where maybe I'm teaching or people in my team are teaching. The about section of your group is a really important piece of the puzzle. It's going to be the link that you send everyone. When they click on that link, they're going to go to your about section. So it's got to be really spick and spam. It's got to really do the brunt of the selling for you, whether it's a free group or a paid one. So I'll show you an example of what my about section looks like in a second. But the way to make this really good is to add media, so images or videos. I like to just show what is inside the community because that's really why people are going there. They want to know what's inside it. So images or even videos of what's inside, little teasers. You can also add testimonials and case studies. Again, you've got the social proof because people can see on the about section how many people are actually in the group. So that obviously helps. That's why I'd recommend starting a free one if you don't already have an audience behind you. This way you can use the members that are free as social proof to later on start charging people to join the group. At the bottom of the about section, you've got text. So I recommend keeping this short. You can just use bullet points. Just be truthful, speak facts, don't lie or anything like that. I think that's quite straightforward. But ultimately, just emulate what works for other groups. You don't have to follow or copy what I'm doing. I've just looked at what has been successful for other people and I've more or less just copied them, but in my own way. So to show you an example of what my about section looks like, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. You've got a little bio over here on the right. It's a character limit, so it's got to be short and sweet. You can see that it's a public group, so anyone can come to this group and they can see what's being posted. I'm still testing whether I want it to be private or public. It can still be free, whether it's public or private. It just means that when it's public, people can see your community. There's members over here on the right, 325. But the real central piece are the images and the videos that you can put here. You can put any kind of media. So I've just got like a main image here with video CEOs and who it's for. So when people discover this group, which I'll show you in a second, they'll see this as the main page. And then if they click through it, they can see that these are the courses that are available. They get a snapshot of one of the courses, another snapshot of a course, the flywheel approach, which is what we teach in the Video CEOs community. And I've also got this here. I saw this in another group, because if someone is not a member and they come to this page, the button over here on the right where it says settings will say apply now or join now. So I've just made this image here, join here, it's free forever, so they can click this button. It just helps them move their eyes in that direction. At the bottom here, just some text, bullets, a little blurb on what we do. I just use ChatGPT to make this, and I do the same for the bio as well. So ChatGPT is your best friend. So once you've created or started your community, how do you actually grow it? If you're starting from scratch, if you're starting from just one member being you, what do you do to get more members in there? Well, it's pretty straightforward. If you already have a business or you've already been doing something in the past, you can add links to your community on your call booking pages, in your confirmation emails, every time you post content. And this also applies if you're starting this brand new, you don't have any business behind you, you're just building this from scratch. You want to start posting content to tell people about the community, create content around what the community is about, and then add links to the community in your content or in the comments or in your about sections. That'll send people or traffic to your community so that they can join. If you've got an email newsletter, you can add a link to your community there. Equally so, if you've got a CRM, if you've got a business behind you already, if you've got an email list, you can add links to your community in your emails. And then just contacting past leads. Maybe they didn't buy anything in the past. Maybe they were skeptical. Maybe they didn't have the money, whatever their excuses were. You can contact them and say, hey, come join my community. I'm revealing everything in here for free. And then they can go there and they can try and achieve the results in their own. And then of course, once they start going through the content, once they start interacting with people, getting their questions answered, it boosts their trust with you, and maybe they'll buy in the future, who knows. But even if they don't buy, at least you're able to help someone achieve a result, and they will speak highly of you to other people and recommend your group to others. This is how you're going to grow it. It's honestly one of the easiest business models in the world to do this as well. Now, before I show you the business model and the simplicity of this thing, just start promoting your community now before you have something in the classroom. The one thing that is going to stop you from making money out of this is that you have to create the community, and you're going to think that you have to start creating content to put in that classroom. As I've shown you previously, you can just take your existing content on YouTube, put it in as a free course. You can go on YouTube and take other people's content and just map it out in an A to Z fashion to create a free course. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to sit there and record something on camera or do a screen recording. Don't let this stop you from making money. Don't let this be an excuse to procrastinate. Start promoting the community, get members into the group now before the course is even there. And I'm not just saying that to get you going. It's something that I have actually done myself. There's no content in here yet, but I've made a pinned post, which if I click on, it says that there's a course coming soon. So that means that when new members join, they're going to see this pinned post, and they know that although there's nothing in the classroom now, something big is coming. And I also invite them to tell me what they want to learn most. So this helps me build out that course. So don't let not having a course stop you from creating the community now and promoting it now. Like I said, it really is the easiest business model in the world. You just have to get traffic. You have to send that traffic to the about page, and then you have to have a community that people like and tell their friends about, which means having as much value in the community as possible. And then you make money, because there's so many ways to monetize it, which I'll get into in a future video. Now, I'm a visual person. I like to look at things in a very visual and simple, easy to understand way. This is really what this process looks like. So you can create content on YouTube, both long form and short form. You can create content on Instagram, Reels, Instagram pictures, You can even boost some of these reels and pictures to get more reach. You've got TikTok as well, so you can create TikToks. You can also do lives to send people to your community. LinkedIn, if you're big on LinkedIn, when you post content, you can add a comment under your content, sending people to your community. This way it doesn't affect the algorithm, because we all know LinkedIn doesn't like you linking people away from LinkedIn. You can also create LinkedIn articles and then link people back to your community from there. And then there's Facebook, very similar to LinkedIn. When you post something, add a comment, sending people to your community. If you've already got a Facebook group, start funneling people from your group to your community. The link that you're going to want to use is the link to your About page, because it does the brunt of the selling for you, like I've explained earlier. And then in that community, you can monetize it. You can make money. You can sell courses. You can upsell masterminds. You can sell products. The world is really your oyster. The sky is the limit. And I'll get into that very soon. Hey guys, welcome back. So you've learned how the model works. You've learned how to design your community. You've learned how to start your community and how to seed it. Next, I'm going to show you how you can monetize it and turn it into something profitable that can be a long-term asset that you can eventually sell. So monetizing your community. What are some ways in which you can do this? First, it can be free forever and people can unlock content based on levels, or you can upsell members so that they can get exclusive access to different courses or different benefits. Another way of doing it is to start it free. So it's free for everyone, and then transform it into a paid community once you have enough social proof. Now, when you do this, anyone that joins free will be free forever. So the price is grandfathered. I don't really know why they use that word grandfather pricing, but that's what it is. If you join for free, you get it forever, because it will be unethical if you allow people to join for free and then you just started charging them. So the first 100 members could be free. Then after that, everyone pays $50 a month or whatever. Another way of monetizing your community or communities is by having one free one where all of the information and everything goes in, so you can subtly sell people or indoctrinate people into buying something from you, and then having a second community where people can join for a fee. Now, I see a problem with this because it's hard enough just creating one community, but there are some people that have been very successful at doing this. It's totally up to you. I personally would rather just have one community, keep it free, and then upsell people, or start it as free and then start charging people once you've got enough social proof. And then obviously the final option is just to start it off as a paid community from the get-go. This is, again, up to you. If you've already got an audience behind you, if you've already got a group on Facebook or something like that, this might be the best way for you to go. You can start making money very quickly. But if you're just getting started, start free and then decide later on how you want to monetize it. There's a few ways that you can price your community: $10 a month, $20 a month, $100. The typical price range is $19 to $299 a month, according to the school statistics from Alex Hormozi and Sam Ovens. And by the way, if you're not aware by now, Alex Hormozi has invested in School, and School is owned by Sam Ovens. So this is the pricing that they have said is the average pricing across the range for most school communities. But when deciding what you want to charge members, when it comes to a subscription, you can just reverse engineer your revenue target. So if your goal is $10,000 a month, which is the goal of most people when they're just getting started, then in order to achieve $10,000 a month, you just need 10 members paying you $1,000 a month, or 20 members paying you $500 a month, or 100 members paying $100 a month. So just break it down depending on your revenue goal. Just know that the cheaper it is to join your group, the more members you need. But of course, you can always upsell people exclusive things from within the group as well. So there's back-end pricing that you can consider, because not only will people pay to be a member on a subscription, you can also upsell a course or a program or a one-on-one session or a consultation or an event or a mastermind. There's a whole lot of different things that you can upsell within the group. It's not just necessarily a monthly recurring fee. Once you've got your group, you're getting members into your group, how do you turn them into customers? There's a few different ways that you can do this. I've got a few bullets here that I want to go through because they might not be familiar to everyone. So direct message new members. When someone joins your community, you can create an automation through School itself where you send an automatic message to them. This can just be a normal greeting message, but it also could be a message that upsells them into something else. In addition to that, you can just casually DM people within your group. Now, I would be very careful with DMing people a sales pitch from outside of your group. because it could mean that you'll be removed from other people's groups. I don't want anyone pitching my members. Most other admins don't want anyone pitching their members. And honestly, if you've got your own community, I wouldn't recommend just pitching anyone either. I'd be very non-salesy about it. I would lead from a adding value and helping point of view or perspective, rather than just trying to sell people things. Another thing you can do is notify your group every 72 hours. So like I showed you before, when you're in a community, you can go to the top here and write something, and then you can send an email to all members. So you just write what you need. It could be your sales pitch, it could be a launch, whatever it is, one of your offers, and you click this, and then it will just go to all your members. You can do this every 72 hours. So that's something cool to consider when trying to monetize your community and get customers. Another idea is to limit classroom access to specific members. So maybe you've got very specific courses in there. They have to pay a fee in order to access those courses. And going on from that, you've also got classroom upsells and cross sells. So in the community itself, you can create a course that is designed to be a sales funnel or a sales medium. So an example of this can be seen in my video CEOs community. So I've got a course here, which is just a start here course. And it just gives members instructions on how they can access free programs or paid programs. There's a notice here about solicitation, no spamming, no cold pitching or anything like that. And so you could use this as a way to sell people or upsell people on different courses or packages. Let's say I wanted to create a mastermind for this community. I could just make another section with some information that looks a little bit like this, explaining how someone can purchase a ticket to the mastermind. So maybe it will go to another landing page, or I'll just have a payment link in here directly, and then I can create an automation so there's a thank you message and things like that. So you can actually upsell and cross sell in the group itself by creating what would look like a course but isn't. Another thing worth mentioning is that it's very easy to keep people engaged and to make sure that members are active. Not only can you see how active members are, but when you post in the group or if you DM them, the settings that they have when creating a school profile is default set to receive emails when they receive a DM or if there's a new notification in the groups or communities that they've joined. So it's very easy to stay front of mind with a school community. And then finally, if you don't have anything to sell right now, you don't have masterminds, don't have products, don't have services or anything like that, a really easy way for you to make money is through affiliates. So you can be an affiliate of school. You get 40% recurring revenue from anyone that signs up with your unique link. So to find your affiliate link, you just log into school. At the top right, you've got your profile image. Click that and then click settings. It will take you to a page like this. Over here on the left, you've got referrals, and that's where your referral link is. So you can copy that link, you can make it a bit.ly link, and then you can start using that to generate recurring revenue. You can make content, put that content on YouTube, Instagram, etc., referring people to sign up using your link. You can do tutorials, masterclasses, how-tos. You can even include this link in your courses. You know, there's a lot of ways for you to promote this link. And school even has mini courses that will explain how you can make more money from your referral link. So if you don't have a course to sell, if you don't have any services, products, or anything like that, the referral link is your best bet for now. You need traffic to get people to your community, and there are 6 ways for you to generate traffic. The first way is through warm outreach. This is by reaching out to people who already know who you are. So this could be anyone in your contact list on your phone, anyone in your email list, anyone in your network who follows you. You can just send them a message, reaching out to them, asking them if they want to join your community and maybe explaining some of the benefits of joining. The second way is cold outreach. So unlike warm outreach, cold outreach is when people don't know who you are. They've never heard of you before. So it kind of depends on who you want in your community, but let's say you want a community filled with business owners. The best way to find business owners might be to go on LinkedIn and then run a filtered search to find business owners in particular industries. And then you can reach out to them with a cold message, telling them the benefits of your group and then encouraging them to join it. The third way of getting traffic to your community is through paid ads. So you can create an ad on any social media platform, and when someone clicks on that ad, it can direct them straight to your community, or you can send them to a page on your website which sells them on the community or just explains the benefits of your community. And then on that page will be a button that will take them to your community about page. If you do it this way, where you send people to a landing page that's on your website, you're kind of adding an additional step, but you might want to do this if you do any pixel tracking. So if you want to track the type of people going to your website and clicking so that you can retarget them later, this might be something that you might consider doing. But most of the time you can just make an ad sending people to your community. Another form of traffic is just by creating content. If you create content and post it on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is, you get a lot of reach. And then you have descriptions or captions where you can include links. So if you make a YouTube video, there can be a link in the description below that video pointing people to your about page. If you have an Instagram, you can have a link in your bio. And then when you create content, you can tell people to click the link in your bio. There's a variety of ways that you can do this. It's all about getting people to click on a link and going to that particular page on your community. I'd also recommend Instagram boosts as well. So going back to the paid ads section, it kind of combines with content. So you can create Instagram reels as an example, and then you can boost that reel to your target audience for like $2 a day. And then when people see that reel, you can get them to message you. And when they message you, you can send them the link. So for example, I made an Instagram reel where I'm trying to get video editors to join my video CEOs community. And I set it up in a way so that the call to action was to message me video. And when they messaged me video, I would send them the link to join. So that's a really good way to do it. You can also use influencers. So most influencers don't really make enough money. You can pay them to promote your group. You can give them a percentage of how much your group makes. You can pay them per post, you can pay them on the recurring, you can ask them to be an affiliate of your group. There's a variety of different negotiation packages that you can have with those influencers. It just depends on who you want to work with and what you want to do. And then there's referrals, which basically means just making your group extremely valuable so people refer it to their friends and family and network. If you can make your group so good that every person who joins it refers 2 more people, you're laughing. Like that really is the holy grail. A group that is self-fulfilling, like a flywheel, self-sustaining, with people just referring it all the time. It means that you won't have to spend much time or money on advertising or warm outreach or cold outreach because it just grows itself. It will compound really quickly over a short period of time if people refer other people to your community. And you can also incentivize people to refer your community. So, you can have prizes, giveaways, competitions, things like that. You can gamify the whole thing, which makes it fun and fulfilling for you over the long term. One of the main things that is going to stop you from creating and monetizing a group, the one thing that will stop you from making money is the procrastination part when it comes to making a course. So I don't want you to procrastinate. I've already gone over a few ways for you to put content in your classroom without having to put very much effort in. But if you're ready to create a course, this is the way that I recommend you do it. So step 1 is to sign up to Asana and use Asana as a way to map out your course. You create a project in Asana, then you can create 5 or 6 sections, or as many as you want. But just to get started, make 5 or 6. Each section can then represent a set in school. So if I give you an example from my free YouTube playbook, which is a free course that you get when you join my community, I've broken it down into sections. So each one of these bold titles is a section. And then if I click the arrow, you can see the different modules. So each section in Asana can represent a different set, which is those bold headlines I just showed you. Within each section on Asana, you can create a task. And so each one of those tasks is a module in the set that you make. I'd always recommend using ChatGPT to help you brainstorm the course, what needs to be in there. And obviously, so you don't get writer's block, so you can script everything. Just use AI to help you plan the entirety of the course. It will make it really easy. It will make it faster for you. And then put everything together into a plan, because if you fail to plan, then you're planning to fail. So map out the sections in a little Google document. That's at least what I like to do first before I put it into the sections on Asana, before I make the tasks on Asana. And then once you've got everything mapped out for you, it should look like a nice journey. So if someone is starting from A, how do they get to Z? What is the specific path that they can take to get there in the shortest way possible? So this means eliminating as much as you possibly can from your course most of the time, because if you add too much fluff, it prevents people from actually achieving a result. Once you've mapped everything out on Asana, you've got your plan in your Google document, you've got your Asana sections, you've got your tasks, so you know what modules to make, you can then start recording it. I use Loom to record all of my videos. You can also use something called Movavi. Record all of your lessons. Once they're recorded, edit them, make them look a bit nice, remove all your mistakes, watch them all again to make sure that you didn't miss anything, and then you can upload it into your classroom. Really straightforward, nice and easy. This is an example of what it might look like on Asana. So as you can see, we've got the sections at the top. These are called sets in school. So what is a community, how the model works, designing your community. And then underneath those sections, you've got the tasks or the modules or the videos. So each video is a module. I've just laid it out like this as an example. Things will change over time. As you build out the course, things are going to change, but just try and keep it as simple as possible, especially if it's your version 1. And then when you know your version 1 works, when people like your version 1, you can spend more time making a version 2, which will be far more improved and have far more value in there. So that's how you create a profitable community with School. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the group and I'll do my best to answer them. And if you decide to start your own community, let the rest of the group know so that other people can be incentivized and encouraged to do the same. You can use my referral link just below this video if you want to do that. But of course, if you don't want to use it, that's totally up to you. I don't mind either way. As long as you take action today and you do something that your future self is going to thank you for. Because the longer you wait, the longer you procrastinate, the more competition there's going to be and the harder it's going to be in the future. This is the time to start building a community. This is the time to start making money from your community and then sharing your wins with the rest of us.